Welcome back to another episode of Sippy Cup Shenanigans. I'm Taylor Palmer.
And I'm Katherine Jensen. And today we're going to talk about different trending parenting styles and hacks and things that we've come across on social media, mostly that, I don't know, some things we're secretly judging or maybe secretly wishing we could be doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Yeah. So we're just going to kind of go through some of those and talk about our thoughts and
see where it takes us.
Yeah. So the main one that I feel like is super big right now or talked about, sometimes made fun of, is gentle parenting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would
So
agree.
tell me all your thoughts on that.
So I was actually talking to Dwayne about this today because I feel like this is like I think the millennial parenting style for sure. And it's like
Yes.
the calm and kind voice, which you can do for only so long.
Yeah.
And so we took Everly back to school today. And while we were there was this mom. And this is funny that this was brought up because the only thing that was going through my head was, you are like the epitome of gentle parenting. And like, obviously they're like, what is she going to do? Because we're at school with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But I thought that this is so funny because I was kind of judging. I'm like sitting to the side. I was like, oh my gosh, she had her son and it must have been his first class and he was not having it, like did not want to be there, was like grumpy about everything. And so when it came to a head, we were all sitting at this table and it was Everly, another little girl, and this boy. And the two of them had their snacks, the two little girls, Everly and the other girl, they were eating, and this little boy came over to sit down and he wanted none of his snacks, only Everly's and this other little girl's. And it was like,
classic,
not having
classic.
it. And this mom the whole time was like, oh no, do we need another hug? Is that gonna help? Or do we need to sit on the side? And, oh, a hug is good. Let's get another hug. And like, let's go. I was just like, I told her, I'm like, you're doing amazing. Because I mean, honestly, like that does take a lot of patience to just be like, you want to hug? But also, I'm like, what is that gonna? I don't know. How that's gonna really help you right now.
Yeah. Oh, you want their snacks? Hug. Yeah, like
another hug. And then she's like off on the side. She's like, oh, are we gonna be a preschool dropout on the first day of preschool? I'm like,
all in like this calm, like, hi, Mother E's voice.
Yes. And then when I told her, I'm like, well, you're doing great. And she's like, well, he's my third, so it helps. I'm like, how are you that calm by number 3?
I was gonna say, I feel like it would kind of be the opposite, where like number 1, you're like more patient and like whatever. And then by 3, you're like, don't eat their snacks. Yeah. Eat your own snacks.
This boy was the cutest thing ever. Like when he calmed down for like the 2 minutes, I think that he did, and he sat there and ate the other girl's goldfish, mind you, because he did get the other snacks. He did not eat his. He ate her goldfish.
Yeah.
When he did calm down, he kept looking at me and like had the most adorable smile ever and was like so cute. But then it just like went to. I actually don't think that they stayed until the end of class. I'm not sure, but I think she left. But anyways, my thought was, and I thought it was so funny that we were going to be talking about this today, because I was like, okay, gentle parenting in the wild. Like I'm
like
I was like,
yes.
I was like, I try. Like I try to do something like that where it's like I do, but like I don't know, like I can't quite just be like, hey, this is okay. Like I'll pull Everly aside sometimes, like when we're at a store, and I'm not just gonna sit there and like yell at her.
Yeah.
But like I have to say, like I can't say all of those like magic words that people are like coming up with, saying like, instead of saying this, you should say this. It's like there's too much to
I was gonna say, especially in the moment, it's like really hard to be like, pause. okay, what would a gentle parenting,
Yeah.
person do?
I'm
I
basically
don't know.
like, there's people around right now and you
Yeah.
need to stop yelling. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
We're on the
Yeah.
same page. Like I mean, there's sometimes like what do you even do? How do you are you just going to stand there and wait for them to calm down sometimes? Like I left a chiropractor appointment with Riley when he was really, really little. Everly was totally fine, but then we left and she decided that her legs didn't work and she didn't want to move anymore. So gentle parenting, what are you going to do? I dragged her ass
Yeah.
to, I mean, her butt, sorry, but her little baby Batuski, I dragged her little baby bum to the
Yeah.
car, and I didn't even know what else to do because I had a car seat, and I'm like having to like hold her,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
like I'm not trying to hurt my kid because I'm sure from the side it looks like I'm just carrying a screaming kid. But
Yeah.
how do you gentle
Yeah.
parent in something like that?
So
They're
sometimes you
screaming.
just, yeah. Yeah. You just have to be like, okay, you're not going to come on your own. Then I will
Yeah.
help you get to the car, like,
It's
yeah.
like I don't know. But I do know that because it's such a like a fad and a trend and
Hmm.
like how you should be bringing up your kids. And I do think to an extent it
Yes.
really does help socially and
Yes.
emotionally. Like it truly helps. And I do my best to try and do things like that, but at times it just doesn't work. But I
Yeah.
do think with that trend, sometimes when you're out, like I do think if you don't do it like the right way, do you ever feel like there's eyes on you that are
Judge.
like,
Yes.
what kind of a
Yes.
mom are you? It's
Yeah.
like, I'm a
Yeah.
mom who's trying.
Yes, who's surviving
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
I don't
doing
know.
the best that she can. Yeah.
That's my thoughts on it in a
Yeah.
roundabout way.
No, I agree with you. I think that um there's no one right parenting
Mhm.
strategy. There's not
Mhm.
like a
Yes.
golden parenting strategy. I
Yes.
think that there's things that you can take and learn from
Mhm.
different parenting strategies. And I do think there's a lot of good
Mhm. I do
that's
too.
come of gentle parenting. And like, I do think there are a lot of good messaging. And I think the main thing I love about it is like teaching our kids that it's like okay to feel our emotions.
Yes.
Um, whereas like, I don't know, I feel like that it's kind of like the first generation of that. Once again, it's like to a point and there's like every situation is different, right? So that's another thing. I think it just highly depends on the
Yeah.
situation and the circumstances and what's going on in that moment. Are you at home? Are you in public? Do you have a deadline? Like, do you have an appointment you have to be to? Do you, like there's a lot of things that play, but
Mhm.
you can't always just like sit down and feel all the feelings and take your time. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, I know this sucks right now and I know you don't want to go, and I like, but we just have to do it. Sorry, like
Yeah.
we just got to go. We just got to do it, or whatever. And I think, yeah, like with a lot of things we've talked about, I just think there's a balance. And
Yes.
I think there's a difference between gentle parenting and permissive parenting. I think permissive parenting is really where that can get you into trouble of like
Mhm.
your kids like walking all over you, and then
Yep.
they don't learn boundaries and they don't learn social what's the word I'm looking for?
Norms or like
Yeah, social norms, or like um I don't know. Yeah, just how to
boundaries,
be
limits.
boundaries. Like yeah, just like, so I think it's still really important. At least Austin and I feel it's still really important to be firm,
Yes.
especially when it comes to things like hitting or
Mhm.
screaming, yelling, like
I still don't know how to handle those
oh,
properly.
oh,
Like I'm
it's
still like
so hard.
I was talking to my sister about it because she called the other day to say hi to Everly, and I was like, oh, she
Yeah.
just was in like a quote timeout.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, you do timeout? I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm learning as I go.
Yeah.
But I was like,
Yeah.
she kicked Riley in the face, so I don't
Yeah.
know, like.
It's
And it
so
was
hard.
purposeful. It was
Right.
purposeful. It wasn't like one of those
Right.
kid things where it's just like they're playing around. It was an accident. Like she was mad
Right.
and she kicked him in the face.
Yep.
And so she's like, "You put her in toddler jail?" Like, I put her in his crib because she can't get
Yeah, yeah.
out. It's like, I didn't just like leave her.
Right,
Like, I
right.
sat in here with her
Yes,
and I
yes.
said,
You're
well,
not like
I
you didn't
did leave.
abandon
I
her.
left out the door for
Mhm.
like a couple minutes to check on Riley because he was crying and right there, but I was right outside the door. And then I came in and I sat in here and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna sit with you, but we can't talk until we calm down." So I waited for her to calm down because like I can't just like she wanted a hug and I was like, "I'm happy to give you a hug once we talk this through, but like we can't just like get a hug because you're sad."
Yeah.
Because like I need you to know, right? I guess I just don't know these
No, it's
things.
no, I
And
don't I don't
no, no,
know.
no. I'm talking it through. I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
don't know what the right thing to do is, and I think it's like every parent learns as they go. And
totally.
so, um,
It's an
yeah,
ongoing
I
conversation that
it's
Austin and I have of,
yeah.
like, and it's really hard when there's not, like, a clear natural consequence, right? Because
Mhm.
they talk about, "Oh, like, let the natural consequences occur and stuff," but it's like, yeah, what if they just, like, are playing and they deck their brother in the face or,
Yeah.
like,
But I think that
something?
if like you're saying permissive parenting, right? If
Yeah.
you're going to allow your kid to do that and just be like,
Mm-mm.
"That's not something that we do."
Yeah. You're not
Like,
doing them any favors.
no, because they're gonna go out and do that
Yeah, it's
in a different setting, and then somebody's gonna
yeah,
roundhouse them back. Like, you're
yeah,
just gonna, like and I don't know. There's
yeah.
a balance and it's hard to see. But I do think with like all the social media like trends going on with that,
Mhm,
it's
mhm.
hard to know, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? Because I'll like randomly
It's
come
yeah.
across a video where it's like, if you're doing this, switch to this. And it's like, wait, I was doing that, but I thought that that was something that was good. But now you're telling me it's something that's
Also,
bad.
you're always gonna find different opinions,
Yes.
right? Like, so it's you can't be like, "Oh, yeah, that's the right way," because
Uh-huh.
there's so many different right ways out there.
Yes.
You like you said, you kind of have to find what works for you, what you feel good about.
Hmm.
Um,
And I think the
yeah.
whole goal is just to raise your child to be the best version of themselves. And however you can do that
Yeah. Yeah.
is going to be
'Cause
great.
it's a unique parent with a unique
Mhm.
child, and so it's
Because, like,
like
what Everly is different than Hillam. So
yeah,
they're going to respond to
exactly.
things totally differently. As we're sitting here talking about this, my teacher brain is kind of going. And as a mom,
Mm,
I'm sitting here thinking, like, you sit in there with a class of 30 kids. This
yes.
is why it's so difficult because every parent has a different parenting style.
Yes.
And like, I think I'm maybe understanding this more now as a mom. Like, obviously, as a mom, my child will go to school and I expect them to be kind and listen to their
Yes.
teacher.
Yes.
I can't say that for all of my students, but
Yeah. Yeah. No, honestly, I yeah.
but like you will think like as a teacher, you have a way of teaching and then but all these parents have different ways of parenting, so you're kind of
Yeah, so they might not be used
yeah.
to
Hmm. But baseline
yeah.
kindness, baseline
Yeah.
kind. I don't know.
Totally.
It's kind of off,
Totally.
but I'm just thinking about that
No,
as like
no,
a
I
teacher
love
and
that. I love that you brought up, like, the teacher perspective.
mhm,
And I'm sure, at least, like, when I worked in the schools and I hear my sister, who's a teacher, talk about this all the
mhm,
time, you can kind of tell which kids,
mhm.
run the house versus,
Yes.
like, the parents.
Yes. Yeah. So you can say regardless of the style like gentle parenting or not, if you're trying to guide along those lines,
Yeah.
you're right, you can see a difference. And
Yeah.
it's hard because you don't know what parenting style each of those are, but I would say
Right.
baseline, they're really they show with they come to school and lead with kindness.
Yeah.
But you're right, you can see the kids that
Yeah, yeah.
trouble the house. That doesn't mean anything is wrong with them. It's at
No,
all.
no. Yeah.
Um, that's just that there's a different way that living is like at home.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
when you kind of have a way of doing it
yeah.
that is rough.
Or yeah, or when they're not used to being told no.
Mhm.
It's like,
Mhm.
Wait, no, I get my way.
Yeah.
What's this?" Yeah.
That's hard too to grow up because
Yeah.
you're gonna be told no.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
people. I know
Yeah.
people in life at this point who don't like the word no, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you're an adult.
Do you follow Dr. Becky on Instagram? She wrote Good Inside. She has like a podcast.
Mm-mm.
I haven't read the book. It's on my list this year. It's
Maybe
one of
I'll
my
put it on
12
mine.
books. It's one of
Okay.
my 12 books. I've heard really good things, so I want to read it. But I follow her on Instagram. I've listened to her podcast a little bit, and I love a lot of
Mm.
what she has to say. And she just posted in the last couple of days about how it's really important, and this is like maybe kind of going off on a tangent.
No, you're
Sorry.
good. We're already off. We're
We're
good.
already off. We'll come back in a
Yeah.
minute. But how it's really important to let your kids feel frustration
Mm.
and to not always save them from frustration,
Yeah.
because as a parent well, it's like hard because it's hard to see your kids frustrated, right? And then also well, she said you need to build their tolerance for frustration,
Hmm.
because if they go their whole childhood not experiencing frustration, then they're going to grow up and have a really low tolerance for it. But it's hard because like then you have to work on your tolerance
For
for their
yeah.
frustration.
Yeah. Hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's
And
like
it's
this,
hard. You're right.
it's so hard. It's something I am working on really hard right now, because Hillam is in the three-nager stage so
Mm.
hard, where he just is fighting everything. He is not listening. He's like, he started saying, I'm going to do whatever I want. And I'm like,
Oh
excuse me. That's not how it works. Okay.
no. Nope.
So anyway, so yeah, it's just a
That's
lot
not funny, but it
of
is.
me trying to regulate my emotions
Huh?
whilst helping him regulate his emotions. So it's really hard. I understand, but it's super hard. But I did love that she's like, just, it's okay to say no, because they need to
Yeah.
experience that, even if it makes them upset and frustrated. Like, that's okay. And anyway, so I liked that. Like,
Yeah.
we're not doing them any favors by like trying to save them from hard
Yeah.
emotions all the time. It's
Yeah.
just part of life. So
No, that's
anyways.
great. No, it is. That's not, I think that's a good tangent to go off on. I think that that's, no, it's important because I have to tell myself that too sometimes. And it's nice to also hear other people say that, because you can't just always be like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's okay to your kid. Like, Everly, she's been a lot more grumpy as of
Mm-hmm.
late. And
Yeah.
like, she'll go from like highs and then lows.
Yes.
And it's like,
The
okay,
emotional roller
yes.
coaster
Yeah,
that
you're
is
like, oh, like
toddlerhood. Yeah.
everything is great. This is great. Like, you're the sweetest thing in the absolute world, which I mean, she
Yeah.
is. But then, like, all of a sudden it's just screaming. And I'm like, wait, literally what happened?
Yes. The
What?
whiplash.
Yes.
It's like
Like,
constant whiplash. I'm
yeah.
like,
But I'm
what is
like,
happening?
we can't do it. And so it's like, I can't just like give in. So I'm
Yeah.
just like, no, like we can't, but I have other options for you to do. And like a lot of the time it'll be her crying. And I have just been like, okay, well, you know what? It's okay to have those feelings and it's okay to cry, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna, when you're ready to talk, I'm here, but we can't.
Yeah.
And that's hard because you
Yeah.
feel bad that they're
Right.
crying. And I feel like I'm the person, well, I am the person that's
Yeah.
causing it.
Yeah.
It's not a nice feeling.
Yeah. And it's hard. Like, you're like, it would be so much easier to just give in
Yeah.
and just, like,
Dwayne, I love him so much. And he can probably hear me say this, but man, he does. And it's kind
really?
of, well, to the sugar. And that's
Oh,
usually what it
yeah.
is. Like last night, she's like, I want ice cream. And I'm like firm on I'm like, nope,
Yeah.
we're not doing it. And Dwayne comes down and she's like, I want ice cream, Dad. Okay, let's go get ice cream. I'm like, what?
You're like, wait a second. I just said,
I didn't say I know. And he's like, just a little bit. And I already told her, I'm like, oh. It's fine. He does so great with them, but it is kind of funny because sometimes when him and I are on the same page, and I'm like,
yeah.
I've been working so hard on this. I'm like, no, we're not
Yeah.
doing it. And he comes, and he's like, yeah, that's fine. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
I know that happens to us a lot, but usually it's like opposite where
Oh.
Austin's really good at staying firm
Mhm.
and like holding the boundary and then Hillam will come be like, "Mom, can I do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And Austin's like, "Wait, I just wait. Like, no, let's talk about this." Like,
I love
yeah,
it. I
so
always try and say Dwayne and I are like a team, so you can't break us. But then, like on these little things where we like don't talk
mhm.
about, I'm like, oh man, you worked the
Yeah.
system, you worked it. It's
Yes.
like
Yes,
all
and
the
they
effort is
know. And
yes.
they know.
Oh
They
yeah.
are smart,
There's
they
like the
know.
moments where I just say no, and she literally turns and goes, Dada.
Dad yeah.
Yeah, and then she'll do it silently. Mama said no to
Yeah.
me. It's not
Yeah.
nice. I'm like,
Yeah. Or
no,
Hillam will
it is.
say, "Dad said I could." And I'm like,
I
"Did
haven't
he
got that
though? Did
yet.
he? I don't know about that."
I
Like
love it. I haven't gotten that one, but I know it's coming. That one has to be coming.
uh,
Man, the kids, they just work you.
I oh
They work
man,
you.
it's exhausting. I love them and
Okay.
they're amazing, but
They are amazing. Then they take it out of you.
yes.
Okay. I'm going to go to the next one,
Yeah.
bringing us back. Okay. Montessori playrooms.
Okay, so just to make sure we're on the same page, talking
Yes.
about the same thing.
Yes.
So I'm picturing beige. I'm picturing wooden
Yeah.
toys,
Uh-huh.
like no lights, sounds,
Yeah. I think like
dull colors,
no
no
electronics.
electronics.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say dull. Although I know that I have a lot of Montessori toys and they're very colorful.
Okay, so they don't that it's not like they
But
all
but I agree with you and that like the trend though
yes.
is like the beige mom, like the
Yeah.
no color.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, Montessori's also about um like self-sufficiency, right? So
Yeah.
there's like
Learning
there
with your
might be like
hands
yeah,
and
like a little kitchen or
mhm.
something
There's
like that.
like we have a play gym. I know that that's like a the
Yeah.
picklers climbing thing that they're supposed to like learn sensory thing or motor fine motor. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I have some aspects of that in our home. Like we do have, I would say, like some Montessori toys, but we
Mhm.
also have a lot of the noise or like lights and sounds and
Yeah.
stuff. And I try not to, use those all the time, but sometimes those are the only things that will keep them entertained
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
their own for a
Mhm.
minute. And they like them. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
It's whatever works. I mean,
yeah,
honestly,
I will say there are some toys that are so annoying
yeah,
that
there
like
are.
I hate those toys that are just like
Mhm.
the repetitive
Mhm.
sounds and I'm like and then there's those toys that don't have an off switch.
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
like, why do these exist?
Mhm.
Why is there no off switch? Like
Yeah. Mhm.
so they can always press the button and it's just like anyways, so I
Turn it
will
off.
say
Yeah.
I sometimes those toys disappear.
That makes sense.
So, yeah. But
Mhm.
anyways, you go.
No, I have nothing against the electronic ones. I'd say most of our electronic ones live in the car.
Mm,
Um, but we do have stuff inside. I think that I'd say the majority of their toys are actually Montessori style.
that's
But
awesome.
that is because my mother so kindly gifted us the Love Every play kits, and those come all the time.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
That's so nice.
yeah,
Okay, that's a subscription, right?
yeah. Is it Love Every
Ish?
Loverly? I don't know. Yeah, it's a subscription.
Like monthly
No, it's
or
like every 2 to 3 months, I think.
and it's just
Sometimes
like
more.
a kit that comes and you get to keep it.
Yeah.
Okay,
And it comes and
nice.
it gives you like instructions for how to play with the different toys that I never read. But
Yeah,
doesn't come with
but
them.
they're there.
They're there. And the kids love it and it's taught them a bunch of stuff like Riley. poor Riley. Like it's hard with Everly. He just wants to play with her, and so like
Yeah.
alone time is harder. So when my mom was with him today, like sweet little boy learned how to put the ball in the little spinny thing and like get it out. Like
Cute.
he hasn't been doing that, but he's doing that now. It's just like motor development, which I
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, for sure.
And getting them to like Everly was really good at problem solving with that stuff for
That's awesome.
when we started getting those, and I liked it because it would keep her busy and she would like figure out how to play with them in different ways.
Yeah.
So, but if my mom wasn't getting that, that probably wouldn't be having
Yeah.
them. Um, and but it's not like beige or whatever. I
Yeah,
that
it's
doesn't mean
still
I like the monotone colors, and I
yeah,
was gonna go
yeah.
for that, but all the toys are colored, and I wasn't gonna buy new toys. And
Yeah.
I think, yes, there's something to like the more dull colors. I think it's like less stimulating for kids, and
Yeah.
it's more calm. But
Yeah.
I think that there's something to color too, and
Yeah.
like playful, happy.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
I mean, this play kit, they're all colorful. Like you can't just like get it.
Mhm.
So, and they're very popular. So
Yeah.
everything is the same colors though, which I like. For the most
Oh,
part, they're all
that's
the same
nice.
colors because it's that same brand. So like
Yeah, so everything kinda
everything
matches.
kind of matches, which is
That's
nice.
nice, like, aesthetically pleasing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So our playroom is like colorful in that aspect and a lot of Montessori. But I don't think that it's necessarily like the easiest to keep up with. And
Mm.
like I think I'm gonna kind of lead this into our next one, which is like the like toy rotation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because like the kids, I don't know, like the what you see on Instagram is like these really clean playrooms and like moms cleaning up like and spraying like let's set up my playroom for the baby tomorrow like every night, and I'm like I don't know how you have
That's
the
too
time to
much.
do that. And
That's too
like
much.
I don't have a pristine playroom every day, and I'm not like sanitizing my toys every day.
People
I'm
do that?
yeah. Yeah.
People sanitize their toys in general?
I do every once in a
I've
while I
never
will.
done that's so bad. I've never done that unless it gets, like, peed on or something, like
I
I didn't know
often
that
do it.
was a
I don't often do it, and I wouldn't, but it's only because I only do it because I have a certain cleaning solution that I'm okay with using on the toys. And that's the only reason I do it. And that was another thing that sold me on Instagram. So,
Yeah, yeah. That's so
but
funny. I didn't
I
I
don't
was
often do it.
like
When I do like a good deep like, clean of the toy room,
yeah,
like I'll go
yeah.
through, but I'm not like I don't know how people like will actually like wipe things down. Like I literally have a spray that like I'll spray over things and I'll like wipe
Okay.
it and stuff, but like I don't
You're not sitting there getting every little crevice and, like,
sometimes I
sometimes
do. But it's really not often.
you're like, "I only do it every night, but it's, like, not that much." It's, like, not that often.
I really don't know how people do that. But like have it be clean and everything. Like my mom will come over and help me clean stuff up. And
Yeah.
I'm like, and then like 2 seconds later, the kids make it a
I
mess. And
know,
I
I know.
can't keep up with this. My brain can't keep up with this. And
It's
so when
so
people are
hard.
like doing the videos of like, let's reset the playroom, I'm like, are you just doing it for the video? Because like, do you do
Yeah.
this every day? So like that
Yeah.
aspect of like the Montessori playroom and like, let's set up this thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get that. And then the toy rotation with that. Do
I
you
l
do that?
I y ish.
Okay.
Ish. Super, like, informally, kind
Okay.
of. So, the main reason is because we have a ton of toys and we don't have room for all of them in the boys' rooms, which is kind of like in the boys' room, which is like the playroom.
Mhm.
There's not enough like toy bins for all of the stuff.
Yeah.
So, so we have like a couple of bins in our big storage closet of toys. Um, and I will kind of like switch stuff out, just like kind of
Okay.
like like oh those have been in there for a while. We'll like just kind of swap them with some
Mhm.
toys that they aren't really playing with anymore right now, and then these
Yeah.
ones feel new to them. Or
Mhm.
yeah, like right before Christmas or birthday, I'll just like put toys away because I know they're gonna
Smart.
get a bunch of new ones. But it's definitely not like an organized system by any
Okay.
means. Like it, and Hillam, he knows that there's toys stored away, and so he will ask. He asked this today. He'll ask to go get a toy from like a storage bin, and I say yes, but we have to put one of the other
Mm,
toys away. So it's like a swap.
that's
Like you
nice.
can
That's
like you
smart.
can swap
Yeah.
toys. So we're not just getting more and more toys
Yeah.
out. We always have to put one
That's smart.
in before we get a new one out. Anyways,
It
so
gets
so yeah,
crazy.
it's definitely not like an organized system. And yeah, that's something I want to work on because like our house is constantly a mess with just like toys literally
Yeah.
everywhere. And then I've noticed, yeah, I've noticed that the kids don't play as well independently when there's just like a mess of toys everywhere. But if they're clean and in a box or in a bin,
Yeah.
then they will go to that bin and like take them out and play with them. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
I think that they need order too,
Yeah, yeah.
as much as we
Which
do.
so I'm like, dang it. Like it would be better if it were clean.
Yeah.
So it's something that I want to work on. And actually today
Mm.
we went to Costco and I saw they had these like clear or like
Mm.
small-ish organizing bins that I've been wanting to get some just because like the boys have a lot of like toy sets that it's like
Mm.
hard to keep together and
Yeah.
it'd just be nice to be like, oh, all of the Paw Patrol
Yeah.
toys go in this bin or whatever. And so I got that. It was
Mhm.
on sale for like $6 for 6 little
Nice.
bins and like am giddy about it.
Oh, yeah.
I Who knows when I will actually get around to organizing it, but
No. The boxes, I've done that from Target. I have all of
mhm.
our arts and stuff. I have boxes of their toys like that. It's the most amazing thing.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they get excited. And not only that, when there's a spot for specific toys, I've noticed Everly can clean up because she
Yes.
knows exactly where it
Where they
goes
go.
and to close the bin
Yes.
and put it back.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think and we've kind of started doing is trying to have the toys a little bit more organized where like specific toys go in specific
Mhm.
bins and I do think it's really helpful for the kids. I think it's helpful for us like cleaning
Mhm.
up. I'm more willing to clean up
Yep.
because I know exactly where it's going to go. I don't have to think about where am I going to put this. So I do think
There's something
um
to it.
there's something to it. And I do think toy rotations can be really helpful because yeah, it's like kids' attention span is short and Hillel will get really excited about a new toy for like a week and then he'll be like
Yeah.
on to the next. So I think if you do, it's great.
Yeah.
I don't have like a super organized system yet, like, oh, every week we or
Yeah,
anything
no.
like that. But yeah.
I'm literally the same way. And I haven't done it until this past week. I just got a bin out and I was like, we were like, there's too much toys.
Yeah.
These are all going to go in here.
Yep.
We're going to start swapping things out. But I
Yep.
hadn't really seen much about toy rotations until more recently. I feel like it's
Yeah.
become like a bigger thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Is it more work for me to have to remember
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
what's there, but also like I don't want to get rid of all the toys and so they can't just all be out. And like
Yeah.
do you know like when I clean, I don't know if you notice when I clean stuff up and put things in different places even before toy rotations like Everly would notice things
Yeah.
and then play with them that she hadn't played with
Yes.
before. So I was like, okay, this does make
Yes.
sense if I'm putting things away because you're going to play with
Yep.
stuff that you haven't seen. So
Yep.
the mind of a toddler
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah. It's hard though when like when you clean, it's all the toys are just going to come back out
But like
in like 5
instantly.
seconds.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like the moment you
Yeah.
clean.
Mhm.
Yeah. The whole cleaning process for me is a struggle. Down to the vacuuming. I don't know if your kids like the vacuum or not, but my baby, Riley, is obsessed with the vacuum
Yep.
and
Same with Hayes.
crawls to it. So
Yep.
I have to watch where I'm going because I'm like,
Yeah, Hayes will follow the vacuum around and then
"Mm,
he'll like get in the middle of the
uh-huh,
path and I'm
uh-huh,
like I don't want to vacuum your fingers like
The
Yeah.
whole process, the whole cleaning process. It's fine.
I pretty much can't vacuum when Hayes is awake. Doesn't happen.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. The next one. I'm just gonna say this because I think that this is I'm this was on a list that
Yeah.
I saw, and sittervising.
Literally literally never heard of that in my
And
life.
I haven't even, it's not just on this list. I've seen this in multiple places, and I don't know if like this is like a thing for people. It says supervising
Sitter
kids from a sitting position.
like
Isn't that just being a parent?
I was gonna
Like
say
you're
versus what?
like, I
Is
mean,
it
obviously you
is
have to
it
stand up
saying
sometimes, but
is
like what?
it saying like more like yeah, like supervising the play rather being like in the middle of the play? Like being a part of the play
I have
time versus just
no
like watching and supervising?
clue. I have no clue, but like, why is that even a thing, anyways?
Yeah,
Sitter.
I don't know. That's just called
I just had to bring that
that's
up because I
just
think that's like the silliest thing ever, and
yeah,
I'm
that's
for
silly.
sure judging that if
Yeah.
you're saying that that's a thing.
Yeah, it's just funny that that's like a term or like a
Yeah.
trend. Like that's
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
just being a
We
mom.
are
I
here
don't know.
for all moms, so it's
Yes.
fine. But
No,
also,
it's just the fact that
like,
it's like a
what is that?
term.
What
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that?
I don't know. I
I'm
don't get it.
judging the term,
Yeah. Yeah.
and a little bit if you're using the term, I'm a little bit judging.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, if you're like, yeah, we are a sittervising household, like what is that?
like, what? Okay. Sounds like you're babysitting your own kids, like
Yeah.
supervising and sitting.
Sitting, yeah.
That's what I do half the time because I don't know literally how to get my ass off the chair sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
ADHD brain.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay, I've heard of this next one some nature schooling.
Mhm.
So I haven't specifically met anyone here in Boston that does it, but in Utah I met a couple of people whose kids did nature school,
Mhm.
and they would always like tell me about it and I'm like, "Wait, like year round? Like
Yeah.
they're outside year round?" And they're like, "Yeah, yeah, like even in the winter like they're just bundled up." And I'm like, "For 3 hours outside for 3 hours year
Yeah.
round."
Utah, that's a little surprising for me in Utah. It is a thing here too.
I was going to say in San Diego I can definitely
Yeah.
see
My
that. And
friend's son does it.
I think the concept is honestly awesome.
Mhm.
Um I just feel bad for the teachers, but
Yeah. It does, like, I have those intrusive mom thoughts for
mm,
that. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just like in San Diego. I'm like, I'm sure that they would go somewhere safe
safe.
and
Oh,
probably
but
like a
you're like
park.
just
But I'm like,
out.
what if they're like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
you're not like contained in a school. Is
yeah,
that what
they're
you're
like going,
thinking?
like,
There's
I
like
know that there's like
strangers around.
stranger or like streams with rocks, like 'cause you can
Oh,
slip and fall, or
yes.
like there's rattlesnakes around here, like, and kids are often just like
Yes.
everybody likes to like just go in and do things. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know how many kids are like allowed into it and like what. Obviously, it's fine. My friend's
Yeah.
son does it and loves it, and
Yeah.
my friend's daughter does it like once a week or something because she's still younger. Um, and they go together, and both of
Yeah.
them really like it. I just have these like weird, I'm like,
I
I
get
don't
that.
know.
I get that.
But that's like a me problem.
Right,
So I
right.
wouldn't want that to
That's
be
not like a
put on
problem
her.
with the
Yeah.
school
Yeah, yeah.
system
Yeah.
or
And I
yeah.
think that my friends both really love it, and their
Mhm.
kids get to be outside every day.
Yeah.
Um I think it's a really cool
I
concept.
was going to say I love the concept
Yeah.
because I think
I
it's
think it's really cool.
so good for
Mhm.
kids to be outside and it sounds very hands-on
Yeah.
and so I think if like I said I haven't heard of anyone doing it here probably cuz the winters are brutal. But
They're kind of brutal in Utah too, though, no?
yeah, yeah, they are, um but I feel like the difference is in Utah it will like snow or something like it's more like in the 30s.
Mm.
Like it doesn't really get down to like the single
I
digits
guess you
or
did go a bit more
anything.
north, huh? So it's
Yeah, and it's just
probably,
like so windy.
yeah.
So like it's always the wind chill
Yeah.
takes it down like 10 or 15 degrees. So
No.
I don't know. Anyways, yeah, this kind of like going back to what we talked about last week with, getting outside in the winter and
Yeah.
stuff. But I think if it's like feasible and it's,
Yeah. I think it's cool. It's
for
something that I
sure.
would be interested in.
For
Like I'd
sure.
get over whatever thoughts I have in my head.
Yeah.
It's something that I would be more interested in sending her to an outdoor school than I would
Hmm.
to regular.
I was just gonna say, or if there's like an outdoor like summer camp or
Mm-hmm.
something
Yeah.
like that, like all for it,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Our summer camp was outdoors. That was fun.
Oh yeah.
Remember when we were kids?
Yes. That was
That
awesome.
was a good one. I have fun memories and scarring memories from that year.
From Camp Collins.
Yeah. Do you remember
What's the scarring memory?
remember when we went horseback riding and I was like, "Yeah, I'm intermediate," and they gave me the pony and I almost like whacked my
Did you
head
fall
off?
off or something?
No, because they didn't tighten the saddle enough and the horse got spooked and I was like sideways running through the trees and
I
my head
don't remember this. I do
it's like
not remember this. Oh no.
scarred into my brain.
Oh no. So do you avoid horses now? Or are you okay?
No, but that happened and then that summer at your guys's place happened.
What happened?
What do you
Were you
mean?
there
Yes.
with
When you're
when
when
Belle and my cousin got
yes.
her on the horses?
Who broke their rib? Well, your cousin,
That
right?
was no, that was Belle.
Belle?
That was my
Mhm.
sister. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you were there for that? I
Yes.
forgot. Okay,
Yes.
that was actually scary.
I was petrified.
Sorry, this is another like way tangent, but that was maybe one of the scariest experiences I have had with horses. So I'm very sorry that
No,
you had to be there for
I
that.
I was like, I don't even remember like because there was your mom had told them like not to go out, right? Because there was lightning. And
Yeah,
then
they started raining.
they
Yeah,
came
and there
back and there
was
was a storm and then I think the strap didn't get to Belle had a friend there too, didn't she?
yes, she
Mhm.
did. And I think it was
It
so
was
it was the
the
friend. Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was terrifying. We locked ourselves in
In the
the barn.
bunkhouse.
Yes. I remember all of that. All right.
That is
But
crazy.
the
I
horse
forgot you
lived.
were
The
there for that.
horse
Yes.
survived.
The horse is fine. Everyone's fine.
That was like the biggest thing because everybody thought the horse was gonna die.
Yeah. Yeah. And for everyone who has no idea what we're talking about,
The
there
horse went
it
crazy.
the horse had a freak out because the saddle
The
was
saddle. It
not
like flipped under the
it
belly.
flipped under the belly because it wasn't taken off properly, and then the horse was kicking, and then the horse fell, and anyways,
It was
everyone's
terrifying.
everyone's fine.
I think
Taylor is scarred for life, but we're fine. I'm
that
so sorry.
it was the saddle on my horse that flew me sideways
Oh no, 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 no.
and then
Oh no.
I don't think it was that same summer that you moved. Maybe it was no.
No,
It
it
was
had
the
to have been
following summer.
it had to have been later. Yeah, yeah.
I, oh no, it was multiple summers later. So those two are very
Those two
strong memories in my
Do you have
childhood.
any good memories with horses?
Yeah, we went out trail riding on your horses too. And we went out
Okay.
trail riding after that happened.
Okay, good. Oh, good.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that
Yeah. No,
you
no,
had
no. I
some
still
positive.
horses
Otherwise, we would need to fix them.
no, horses are great. But I did remember that and I was like, oh, it was like terrifying. It was
That's so
fine.
funny. I just had to know what was scarring from Camp Collins.
Yeah, it was that horse.
Okay. All right.
And you had us go first on the
Ropes
course.
course.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yep. Yep.
My memory is really
You
strong.
you weren't super into heights. You were not about that. I'm like, we got this.
They're like, who's gonna go? And Catherine's like,
Me.
and
Oh,
it's
that's
not like
so
you remember
funny.
you had to like unhook yourself and hook it back in.
Yes. 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 Yes, that's so
I would do
funny.
it again though. I
Yeah.
literally would do it again because I actually think builds character.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's good. Um,
Anyways, moral of the story is
outdoors is
outside,
good.
outdoors is great. It
Outdoors is
challenges
good.
you to face your fears.
Exactly. Exactly.
And also probably a preschooler, nature school is not going to be riding horses and doing
Yeah.
ropes course, but
No, 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 no. But I'm just outdoors is good.
yes, it's great.
Um,
Okay, the next one I did want to talk about is so these are like TikTok parenting
mhm,
hacks slash trends kind of
yes.
too. But toddler charcuterie boards, or I've also just heard them be called like snack trays
Uh-huh.
or like snack boards, but they look so nice. Oh, sorry.
They're
They look
like
so
they're
nice, and
cute.
they have like all different kinds of crackers and fruits and cheese, and I'm like, wow, that looks so nice.
I'd eat it.
And oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, I really want to get to a point where I can do that or
Mhm.
some version of that, because I actually think Hillam would love it, and it would maybe
Mm,
help him be more interested in food because he could care less about
yeah.
food.
Mhm.
Um so I think maybe it would be like, "Oh, look at this pretty plate of food to try," you know? I don't know. Maybe he would literally care less and be like, no, I'm gonna keep playing." So you never know.
You never know.
But I do like the idea of it, and it gets them like exposed to new foods
Mhm.
and things. But like the real problem is, who's got the time?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like,
Who's got the time
who
for
has
that?
time for this? Like, and
Not me.
these videos, it has to be for the video, right? Because they go
Yeah.
down to the point of like cookie cutter, like cutesy little
Oh no,
things.
no,
I'm
no, no,
like,
no, 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 no.
I don't even, and then like people stick things in like them. I'm
Oh
like,
no, no,
what?
no.
Like, what? I don't get that. That I
That's
don't
too
get.
much. That's
It's too
extra.
much. It goes too far. I think
Yes.
I think that the idea of it is great.
Yeah.
The timeline I
Yeah.
question, but like
I'm just trying to get like a snack plate, like
yes,
with lots of different food,
exactly.
but nothing fancy.
Yes.
And even that is a struggle for
And
me.
I still
But
cut things up pretty good for Everly
yeah.
cuz like she'll just like shove things in her mouth.
Yeah.
And so like truly though, the time,
Yeah.
like how do you have time to cut, cuz at that point like usually the snack trays it's just like a snack.
Yeah.
So this is, I'm truly asking for advice. If there's somebody out there
Yes.
that
Yeah.
hears this and would like to offer me some advice or some help, I'm all ears because
Mhm. Mhm.
how do you have like I'm holding a baby
Oh
who
my
also
gosh.
needs to eat
Yeah.
or get a bottle, and then Everly, like I don't have time
Or
to
hands.
like cut thing or hands to like cut
Yeah.
up all the things. Like I'll put them down and like I can get stuff together, but like it's not going to be like a whole pretty board. And usually for
Yeah.
a snack I give her like a bar and some fruit or something.
Yeah. Yep.
Cuz like
Yep.
that's, or a
I know I
fruit pouch.
usually yeah, I was going to say they for snacks and stuff, it's usually like two quick things that I can give them, like a
Mhm.
cheese stick and some crackers,
Yeah.
or a fruit pouch and yeah, some
Like,
cheese or whatever.
and it's
Like
usually, I'm going to say processed, and I'm going to kind of, can I transition-ish kind
yes,
of to like
do
the
the crunchy
quote
mom.
crunchy mom? Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I knew where you're going with that.
that's how that's another thing. Like I do get a lot of like processed stuff. Like I try and get like the healthier
Yes,
versions of things. Um,
yes,
but that doesn't mean that she's not gonna get like the Pillsbury Christmas cookies
right,
with the dye, and I'm sure, or like
right,
something else, because like that's just fun.
yeah,
But also like I love the idea of doing all things like non-toxic and like
yes,
healthier for the kids.
organic, yeah,
I
mm-hmm.
would love to do it.
Same,
And as
same,
much as I can, I would like to, but it's
yep,
like the time, one, and
money.
money. I think
It's so
that money is
expensive.
like a huge thing. It's, and which is
So
such
expensive.
a
I
bummer
know, it sucks.
because
It's the system is
it's
like set
it
up to fail us.
exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Like they talk about how like all these things that you're giving your kids are so terrible for them and like
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, I to a point, yes, I think that some are
Yeah.
bad, but they're not as terrible as people say, but they're not great.
Yeah.
And but how are you supposed to give them the other when it's so expensive?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the organic fruits and vegetables
Mhm.
cost
Mhm.
way more.
Yep.
And to get foods that aren't highly processed, you're paying at least double what you
Yeah.
would for
Yeah.
something.
And people will say, "Oh, it's not that much more expensive."
It
And
is.
I'm like, "Actually, though, it is." Like
Yeah.
I compare prices every
Yeah.
time I'm grocery shopping, and there are those swaps. Like if the price difference isn't that much, or
Hmm.
it's like the same, like I will obviously choose
Same.
the healthier choice. And there's some things, like I don't get fruit snacks with
Hmm.
dyes,
Yeah.
like, and things like that that I do like avoid. But if you're getting all of the, yeah, organic, non-toxic stuff, like, man, that it racks up. And
Yeah. And they'll
it's,
and people show like swaps for things. Like I saw someone
yeah,
saying like,
yeah.
"Oh, I haven't bought goldfish since I found out how easy it is to make them at home." And I was thinking when I saw that, well,
Sorry, I always make that face. I'm like,
I
I'm trying not to judge. I show too much emotion on my
I'm
face.
I judge. I'm judging. I literally
Make their own goldfish?
I, I at first, to be fair, the recipe was actually very simple. I was like,
Okay,
"Okay, that's fine. Like that's fine." But then I'm like, she was like individually like cutting each of them after like rolling it out, right? And you're putting it on the pan. And I'm like, that's like three handfuls for me just in like a regular thing. And you had
yeah,
to like bake that. I was
yeah,
like, I just how do you
yeah,
have time for that?
yeah.
I
In
wish
an
I
I
had time
I
for
was gonna say,
that.
in an ideal world, I would love to do everything
Yeah.
homemade from scratch,
Yes.
not processed, have a
Everything would be in like
garden.
glass
I
jars
Yeah, yeah,
and
yes.
just like perfectly
Yeah,
perfect.
I would love that. Obviously, I do not wanna expose my kids to unnecessary chemicals, but, like,
I mean,
everything is
all of
toxic.
all of Riley's meals are pouch based right
Yeah,
now. And people are like, "Oh, there's so much bad stuff." I'm like, "I don't even I he gags at any food I give him. It has to be pureed and I don't have the
yeah,
time to sit in the kitchen all day and puree his food."
yeah,
So he
yeah,
gets a pouch that
yes,
seems like it's good. I don't
yes.
know. I one day I hope to, but like the everybody's making sourdough these days.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Which I do love, but once again, time. I
My
don't
mom
think
said
I
she was
just
gonna start. I'm like, she said if she gets a starter going, she said she'd give me some. I'm like,
There you
okay,
go.
sure, I can do
Yeah,
that. Oh, it's fine.
yeah. I do, like, I did make sourdough for a bit, but then, yeah, like, keeping up with the starter was, like, became too much. It was like having another kid.
Yeah,
Not
that's what people
not
say.
really, but
Well, people
it
say
kind
it's
of
like your
felt
like
like that.
little baby that you have to
Yeah.
take care of. I'm like,
So,
I don't have the patience for a
I
lot of these
know.
things, or just the time. And
Yeah.
like, I think when I find a moment,
Mhm.
sometimes it just has to be for me, and it
Yeah.
can't be stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, like the money thing is,
Mhm.
I don't know.
It's
It's
just,
set up to fail you because
yeah.
it is hard. And I don't know if it was, I don't think it was Mel Robbins. I want to say it was Mel Robbins, but I don't think it was. It was
Love
somebody
her.
talking. I do too. I think I'm thinking of something else. But there was someone talking about food and how things have just been like made differently. And I don't know if I've talked about this before with you, but like how McDonald's, back probably like when we were kids, McDonald's
Mm.
fries were made with beef tallow, and which is not terrible for you.
Yeah.
And they tasted great. I think salt, beef tallow. But now beef tallow has become expensive. It's
Mhm.
not the same. So McDonald's doesn't use it to mass produce their fries anymore, and they have all these other chemicals in it. So like
Yeah.
when people say like, "Oh, well, we had it as kids and we're fine."
It's
It's
not the
like it's
same
not the
thing.
same
You're not
because
eating the same thing.
exactly. They've
Yeah.
changed it since we were kids. Even
Mhm. Mhm.
cereals didn't have
Yep.
the laundry list of,
Pesticides
yes,
and,
ingredients
yeah.
that chemicals that are in it now.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so yes, we did have these things when we were kids, but because things have become more expensive, these
Yeah.
companies have come up with ways to cheaply make it
Yeah, I was
and
gonna say
have it worse for you.
their goal is just as cheap as possible,
Yes.
make the most money. So
Yeah. So
it's hard.
you're not really getting what you used to get.
And sometimes I panic and I'm like,
Mhm.
I have to get all of the non-toxic things and I have to, you know, like
I panic a lot. And then
and
everything
I
is like cancer causing and
yes.
I've seen so many things about how our kids have all these like toxins and you need to detox them because
Yes.
that's what's causing all of these problems. And then I
And
think like
health conditions
or
and
like and
chronic
like
illness
and
and
kids can have like, oh, the amount of parasites that were inside my
yes.
kids. I'm like,
You see the ads on TikTok for the
do you
parasite cleanse?
maybe you because we share
Oh
our
yeah, we share a
page.
TikTok.
I've been seeing so many of
I
them.
know. It's like other countries, it's required to deworm your kids every I'm like, What is happening?"
But when people, like, say that and they're like,
Yeah.
"These parasites came out of or out of me even," I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, and
"I
then I
for sure have parasites
oh,
in me.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
For sure." Like, there's no doubt in my mind after
Yeah.
watching some of these things, and I'm sure if I said this to my dad, he'd be like, "Oh my god, Taylor, like, whatever."
Calm
But
down.
yeah, but watching some of these things, I'm like, "No,
I
I
know.
definitely have got some issues going on." Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. So I gotta, like, kind of bring myself down and be like, "Okay, I there's only so much I can do. There's only so much I can
Yeah.
control, so I'm just gonna do what I can, make healthy
Yeah.
choices when I like,
When you
the best I
can.
can,
Yes.
but
Ice
it's
cream
hard."
here and
So
there is not bad. A little
right,
food dye
totally.
here and there is gonna
Yes,
sneak into things.
yes, yes,
Hey,
and I
remind
think
yourself, there's a lady, she was like 90 something years old, drank Dr. Pepper every single day. Have you
yeah.
seen her? And
No,
she
I
was like, "My
haven't, but
doctors told me
that's
not to
amazing.
and that I would die, and so I have had one every day, and here I am, and I attribute my health to that." So just remind yourself of the Dr. Pepper lady.
That's amazing. You can't be in constant fear, and I think moral of the story is you gotta do what's right for you.
Mhm.
You're doing the best you can. Everyone just wants their kids to be
Yes.
healthy and
And
happy, and we're
if
doing the
you're
best.
doing all of these things, then I
Yeah.
seriously applaud you because I don't know
No,
how in the heck you do it.
like I said, in an ideal world, we would be doing
Yes.
all of the
So,
things.
like, go you
Yes.
if you can do it. Like, if you can sit there and make homemade Fruit Loop cereal for your kids in the morning, freaking go you.
Yeah.
I applaud you. I won't be doing it,
It
but
shouldn't
that's
be the
awesome.
standard. It shouldn't be the standard, but if that's your
That's your
bread
cup of
and
tea.
butter,
Yeah, you go. You
yeah,
go. So I mean,
we
but
support you.
yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of just
Mhm.
like parenting
I think
fads these days.
yeah, and we could I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of things we could talk about with this,
We
but
could
I
even bring
think
like we could bring our parents in, our moms in on this
oh,
sometime because I'm
yes.
sure that they would have a heyday because of things that just even we do, which is
Yeah.
different than what
Oh,
they do.
yeah. Totally. And I think a lot of it comes down to social media and, like, they didn't have social media
No.
raising us.
Nope.
And we do, and I think that changes so much. It changes expectations, it changes what we know. Like, it's just my mom will say, like, I'll ask her, "Did you do this?" Like, and she's like, "I didn't know of," or like,
Yeah.
"I didn't hear of that," or like, "That wasn't a thing." Like
You didn't have as much to compare yourself to.
exactly, which I think
It's good
is hard. Yeah, yeah,
for
it's
them.
hard. It's good for them. It's hard for us
Mhm.
to be constantly like, "Wait, I'm doing it
Yeah.
wrong."
Yeah. All the time.
But you're not. You're not.
You're
You're
doing the
doing
best you
great.
can.
Yep, you're doing great.
That's all that matters.
Yes, and we love you. We're
Yes.
here for you. We support you, gentle parenting or not.
Yeah.
Crunchy mom or not.
Sittervising.
Sittervising or not. We might be giving you the side eye.
Yeah.
But we love you.
Okay. And with that, I think that is our end right there. And we will see everybody next week.
See ya.